Now, your creative side, and newsflash, we all have one, isn't waiting for you to be ready, talented, or perfect. It's already within you. Welcome to The Change Effect, the podcast that helps you turn life transitions into powerful new beginnings. One story, one shift, one breakthrough at a time. I'm your host, Noelle Van, an author, leadership coach, and change strategist who spent years in corporate America helping innovators and leaders break through barriers to create success on their own terms. I now work with women to step into change to create a life they love. Whether you're putting yourself at the center of your own story, redefining success, or making a power pivot in your life, career, or business, you're in the right place. Each week, we dive into conversations with trailblazers, changemakers, and everyday women experiencing the ripple effects that come from overcoming the fear and doing it anyway, providing actionable steps, practical strategies, and a whole lot of fun along the way. So if you're ready to step up and become unstoppable, buckle up and let's get started. I want to talk about something we all experience but rarely prepare for, those uncertain seasons of life, times when we feel lost in grief, anxious about the future, or simply unsure of who we've become. In those moments, we need more than just coping strategies. We need ways to ground ourselves to come back to center. One of the most powerful ways I've learned to find peace during stormy times is through creativity. Not creativity with the capital C that demands perfection or results, but everyday creativity that soothes, connects, and heals. You see, whenever we go through change, whether it's leaving a job, facing loss, experiencing grief, or moving through a new season in our lives, it can feel like we don't quite recognize ourselves. Even if it's temporary, it can create anger, stress, anxiety, or depression. And when we experience these shifts internally, our central nervous system goes on overdrive. So engaging in a creative practice to help you find your inner calm, especially in times of unrest or challenge, can make all the difference in the world when it comes to finding that balance needed to get through the tough times. So how does creativity help us regulate our central nervous system? Well, when we engage in creative activities, even small ones, our nervous system relaxes. Repetitive movements like painting, knitting, doodling activate the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering cortisol and calming our minds. So for those of us who like to write or journal, studies have even shown that the simple act of putting pen to paper to self-express can lower anxiety, lift depression, and help us process trauma more effectively. Now, as I may have mentioned before, in my early days of sobriety, journaling literally saved my life. And I say this because without the simple act of writing every day, I would have never worked through the pain of the past and moved beyond my addiction. It's not about making something beautiful. It's about giving your feelings shape, using your hands, and finding flow. Creativity invites your body to exhale. Let's talk about some creative rituals you can try, especially in times of grief, confusion, or anxiety. There's daily doodling, taking a pen, and just letting your hand move. No rules are involved. You could try free writing or morning pages, where you write for 10 minutes straight without editing. Just let your thoughts spill out onto the page. There's also collage or mood boards, where you can cut out images or words from magazines that reflect what you're feeling or craving in the moment. There's a memory box that you can create by collecting photos, objects, or letters that bring comfort and remind you of your own internal resilience. There's a ton of art in nature, so you could gather leaves, stones, or flowers and arrange them in patterns that feel comforting. And sometimes people leave them outside just as a ritual of release. There's photo walks where you take a photo each day of something that sparks an idea or a feeling of joy or calm. And then hand lettering, which is where you could choose a word like peace or trust and write it out in different styles, and then post it somewhere so you can see it every day to remind you of its importance. Now, these rituals are small, approachable, and repeatable, and they give your nervous system a rhythm and your emotions a safe outlet. Now, if you want to go deeper, try something more immersive. You could create a gratitude photo journal, one photo each day of what brings light into your life. You could start a storytelling project, record voice memos of your memories or fears, and then piece them into a narrative. You could write art letters to your past self, your future self, or someone you've lost. You never have to send them, but that can be a really cathartic thing to do. And lastly, you could build a seasonal altar with stones, flowers, or candles that remind you of your inner strength. These aren't about achievement. They're about process, presence, and self-expression in whatever way feels good to you. Now, here are some helpful ways to think about creativity. Think of creativity as play, right? No pressure to be good, just to be curious. Also, you can think of creativity as meditation. Focusing on colors, sounds, textures, or rhythms instead of a to-do list can do wonders for the mind and the heart. And then lastly, think of creativity as connection. First and foremost, it allows you to connect with yourself. And by sharing something you made with others, it fosters belonging and invites more support and community into your life. If you don't see yourself as the creative type, simply start with small daily rituals. Doodling for 5 minutes, free writing, singing in the shower, whatever you find to be a comfortable means of expression, it all counts. Now, your creative side, and newsflash, we all have one, isn't waiting for you to be ready, talented, or perfect. It's already within you. In uncertain times, creativity will often surprise you in unexpected ways. It becomes a gentle, grounding force helping you calm your body, express your heart, and discover the light that's always inside you. So this week, I invite you to choose one creative ritual to incorporate into your daily routine, however small, and give it a try. And for those of you who want to go further, I have an exercise for you that you can try today. Draw 2 columns on a page, label one column, what drains me, and label the other, what lights me up. Fill them out honestly, and in the what lights me up column, think of activities that bring you joy. And be sure to include things you loved as a child or you've always wanted to try. Then circle one of the lights me up items and commit to exploring it this week, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Now keep in mind, creativity comes in so many shapes and sizes, so whatever you pick, it's always going to be the right choice. You will be amazed at how opening yourself up to fun self-expression and leaving the rules behind can transport you out of your head and back into your heart. Now, if you found this episode helpful, be sure to spread the word about the Change Effect podcast so we can continue to widen our circle of curious, courageous, and committed change makers. That's it for now. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Journeys Through Change podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Be sure to follow us and leave a review if you enjoyed this episode so more women like you can find us and join in on the fun.